Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we are starting a new unit on statistics. So we're going to talk a little bit about what statistics is, and then we'll talk about statistical questions. So our definition of statistics: it is a branch of mathematics dealing with the collection, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data. So where do we typically see statistics? Well, the most common word that we hear is average. So we hear that a lot with sports statistics, maybe in baseball or basketball. With the stock market, what's the average gain for the day? Your test scores, what was your average on your test? We see statistics in newspaper articles, and often with some graphs as well. We also see it when we're trying to show how something is growing over time, maybe how a population changes over time, or a bacteria that's growing, what's the average rate that it is changing or growing. So statistics is actually very similar to conducting a scientific experiment. A scientific experiment, or the scientific method, follows a certain set of steps, and so does statistics in gathering data and presenting the data. So we typically start off with a statistical question that's posed to a group of people. Then the data is collected through surveys or measuring the data. Maybe we're measuring the height, so we would actually physically measure the data and record it. Next, the data is analyzed by calculating measures of center. That's typically our mean, median, and mode, or measures of variability. We're going to be learning measures of variability in 7th grade, not this year though. Then the next step, the data is presented visually through different types of graphs. And after that, we make conclusions by interpreting the data and the graphs. And then lastly, our statistical question is typically answered in some way or another. So we're going to start here with statistical questions. Statistical questions are posed to a group of people, not just one individual or two people. So if a question is asked to just me or just you, that is not a valid statistical question, because we want to be able to gather a lot of data to be able to graph it. So if we get just one answer from one person or two people, it's not enough information to calculate averages or to graph it. That leads to the second point: it has to have more than one answer. So let's take a look at a few examples and we'll decide whether they are statistical questions. So who was the 4th President of the United States? Unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that, but I know there is only one 4th President of the United States, so we're not getting multiple answers back. So this is not a valid statistical question. The next one: what is a typical quiz score in your math class? So if I were to survey our math class, we're going to get all different answers back, and I am asking more than one person. So this is a statistical question. And next, how many hours of sleep do 6th graders get per night? We're definitely asking more than one person here. Our school has over 300 6th graders, and we're going to get a whole bunch of different answers back from each 6th grader. It could be anywhere from 4 hours to 9 hours, maybe even 12 hours. So yes, this is a good statistical question. All right, so I'm going to ask you to try some IXL practice on this. If you have questions, please log into Google Classroom, and you can email me directly or pose your question to the group. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.